Hello, Richard. Carlos, I hope you're well, man. Listen, thanks for your help and thanks for what you're doing. And I trust that I don't become like Canuto, que mientras más viejo, más bruto. But man, I hope you get to understand what's going on here and why I'm really trying to set up a system that works. I think that for the most part, I don't think I know that for the most part, this is what I need. I do have absorption indicators here. Right? You can see them here right at the little bar there. They're not directional. All they're saying is that at the time, there seems to be heavy absorption at certain levels. And what I'll do is you'll see some marks later. I will go ahead and date stamp them. So this way you have the history. Also, you have the body of the Heikanashis. You have the obviously the wicks, which are the little sticks here. You have the splines, which is the line, and a histogram here. These are diagonal computations, and all what I did is just take the majors and the minors, divide them by each, get a delta value, and that's what this indicator does. What it tells me, however, is the dominance of a buyer and a seller, and what I'm needing, basically, Richard, is how the Sam world I pick an I mean not the entry because these here you can see that these I've identified them before and I do this like early on, but I've identified this as a decision here. That was a 6774, and I do have a couple things that happened during the time during the auction, which is you have UAs here, you have down here you have shields, and what these cancels are telling me basically the magentas are the Elliot waves. And what they're telling me is that there is a structural, again, that one I programmed so it doesn't show me up or down. I want to keep it simple. And all they do is they're showing me a W3 condition coming. And that's basically there's going to be a structural change and it's going to be to the plus side. You can see here that I'm marking basically the splines that are Elliot. You have the absorption right there, which at 6797. You have a bull shield, which is that circle there. So it's telling me that there's a very strong presence of buyers in this area. And basically, both parties are willing to transact. You can see here now that the action, you have a reversal down at this point, and you can see the splines are starting to change colors. And as we move forward, you'll see that basically, look at the times below. We have 8 o'clock in the morning, which is this part, and then I have the market closing, which comes after this portion. But I wanted you see the look. This was kind of beautiful, but the point is, okay, where do you stop? Not a problem. I had that already identified here at 6805. If you look at the right side, obviously red is bearish and blue or green is bullish. And here on the right side, you can see the volume profile is telling me that there's a strong presence of buyers at this level. And what I'm looking at right now is okay, where do I enter? You see those rays that just started popping? That's telling me that even though there's a burst to the upside, I do not enter because there's not a good chance. Basically, this dealer's hedging. So what I will do is I'll basically hold because I know that that burst is going to revert. I go back. However, if you notice, they mark that level at 6812. That's a level of interest. And what my take is that every time those rays come up, I go back. I know where they're coming from, and I just go back because that basically defines me the ceiling. So right now, and it's way back there. Who knows? I could come back from maybe a week or 2 weeks ago. So you can see that already those with those rays topped, we had bull shields right there at that 6818 to 6820. You can see now that the pricing action started to move up, right? But it started to revert, and it's going to go back and basically revert to the level where the action was marked. And from there, then I let the deltas tell me where they're going to be heading. In this particular case, I can see that the VIX is at 2379. Uh, you can see here that the Laguerre that I'm pointing out is starting to show momentum. You can see now that the pricing action, you can see the bull shields to the right. And my concern, Richard, is okay, I have the levels identified. I can see the action. However, we're in the SAM world. I hit my entry. And the reason is, and you'll see that on the closing, I can tell. Look, right here, if I would have taken that long right at that shield, I would have been stopped out. But if I do what Matt does, that he basically makes an entry and then he goes on negative who knows what. However, look, there was a bounce, and I start to look to the left to see if there's a double top or something or double bottom. And man, I'm tired of just trying to make an entry and and hit this darn thing and then find out that I'm stopped out. It happens far too many times. On the flip side, I don't know what is that you're looking at, but when you hit that entry with, you basically select one stop loss per point. So you select the, probably a 4 point stop. But man, they're just they're just friggin' I don't know. They're spot on, Richard, and that's the reason I'm bugging you because there's something that you're doing that I just don't know what it is, and I want to share that. Moving forward, then obviously I have the closing. Yep, there's the closing, and you can see that I was basically pinpointing, and you see that 67.80 that I marked as a final defense. Obviously, these little absorption arrows they happen. Real time. I mean, they don't happen because they were there. So just because this is a replay, so you can see that the body of the candle is built on stilt again. You can see that there's an intention for the buyers to absorb, and this is where then I know that the pricing action for market closing is going to be somewhat weak because of all this red. However, we are below value, and there's a good chance that we're going to be moving to the upside later on. But if you see this, obviously the market hit down to I don't know what level I was pinpointing originally, 67.90 something, and then I brought it down, and then I brought it down, and what I did is I basically played this, did this play in sim, and that's the reason that I'm doing sim. Oh, by the way, and you can see the dates on the bottom right there, the 1420 and 1455. I marked them because these are areas of what I call fighting or battle zones. And what I do is I mark them because there's a good chance that these patterns will repeat somewhere later on. So that's it. That's where I'm at. Man, anything you can do? I don't think I'm Canuto, but who knows, man? Who knows? Anything. And by the way, I did want to point out, you can see all those numbers there, and this is basically what footprint would look like if I wouldn't not have the Hakanashis in there. They're basically, color coded. You can see some splits right there at the 1440 bar. You can see the histograms. You can basically see all the auction details. I don't need to see that. All what I want is just the color and a darn entry point. So see what you can do, man. I don't know. That's a reason that I share the levels in the morning. Hopefully, the folks would actually look and at least we have a general consensus of what the entries could look like. But yesterday was a total flop, and obviously I relied on oh my gosh on Matt. I know I should know better, but I said, he did a pretty good job the other day. So let me give. Oh gosh, that was a big mistake. I don't even know how many points or dollars he was on a drawdown before that whole pricing action started to move up. But refuse. I'm done, and I just want to figure this thing out myself. Otherwise, I'm in deep shit.